What's going on, Charles Botensten? So this is one of the biggest things that has happened in my life in a while. So number one is I started to meditate. All right, so I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm already meditating. What is this video going to be about? And all that other noise that goes through our minds, like I would have said. So number one is I've tried meditating probably for 6 or 7 years, probably hundreds of times, and I just stopped. I didn't see any benefits. I fought it. I heard about it all the time. I heard celebrities and influencers and all these people talking about the benefits and how great it is and it changed their life and everything. And I was like, this is insane. So I downloaded Headspace. Did it for, I think, 7 days in a row. And I was like, all right, I don't know what's going on. And then I read The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. And then I read his Surrender Experiment, also by Michael A. Singer. I have the reviews below on that. And to be honest, that changed my life. Because I noticed that if he's willing to go, or not willing, if he went through federal indictment by the FBI and 5 years of a federal court case, and he completely accepted it, and he completely surrendered, which is part of the words that I'm going to be talking about, and he came out fine and just completely, as he says, untethered. He untethers his soul from the outcome of what's going on in the external world. I said, I got to try this. So I'm only 14 days in, okay? On day 4, I actually noticed that I was judging my thoughts. So I've added these things that I've said. So number one is the benefits. I'm way more present. Okay, way more present. I know there's scientific benefits where it says that a portion of your brain for function and awareness and what's the other one? And focus, that part of your brain like expands after, I don't know, 6, 7 months or whatever the case is, or the neurons, the dendrites and the electrical synapses in your brain, they fire faster after meditating. I don't know, I have no idea. But I know that I'm way more present. When I'm in a conversation, when I'm talking to you, the camera right now, I don't even know what's going to come out of my mouth. I'm just so present. I'm so focused on just looking at the lens that I can thank meditating. Because normally what I would say is, I look at the lens, I know what I'm going to say, and then I say it. So there's kind of a delay, and then sometimes I stutter, and I'm like, is this good? Is it resonating? Do they like it? Do they not like it? What are they going to say? What are the comments? Is it going to be upvoted, downvoted? I don't have any of those voices anymore. Like, yeah, they come in, but this is the main thing, is that the voice, I am not the voice that I hear. I am not my thoughts. I am not my feelings. So that was the biggest awareness, number one, is that something will happen in my life, say, so I'm in real estate, a business deal or a client will call and they're not happy. So normally I would respond with right around the same amount of energy that they're giving me. So if they're happy or excited or pissed off or whatever, if they're really happy, then I would respond. But what I notice is that I'm way more in control of my emotions. I'm way more in control of my feelings. So I notice what's going on. I have an awareness of what's going on, and I'm able to then say, how do I respond? Normally, something happens, I respond. Something happens, I respond. It's kind of like ding, 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 ding. Now it's like ding, okay, what are the feelings? And Michael A. Singer talks about this. He goes, he feels it, and then he lets the feelings pass. And you're kind of just like a sponge, and then you let it go. But what we normally do is we take it and we sink it into our body. And then out of nowhere, I'll give you this example. A buddy of mine, this is crazy, crazy, crazy. I didn't understand it, but I knew that this was some health thing. And there's actually a movie that came out. It was called E-Motion. E-Motion. It's a documentary. Go check it out. And essentially what it is that obviously we're all energy. We're not solid. This is not solid. This is just moving particles around. Like we think everything is solid. We're just sitting on a big ball of dirt that's just in the middle of nowhere. Space, also known as Earth, is just floating around the middle of nowhere, and we have problems and issues. It's like, no, you're incredible the way you are. So I don't even know what I was getting at. Oh, so my buddy, he was in a roommate situation where his roommate was just being a total not a nice guy, and he was holding this anger. He was not discussing, my buddy was not discussing the problems he had with his roommate. It's like in a relationship. And so when it flips out because you didn't take out the trash, it wasn't you taking out the trash, it was everything before. It was the dishes, it wasn't saying I love you, it's that you're not getting physical anymore, that you don't appreciate them. It's not the trash, it's everything before. And it's the same thing that happened to my buddy. My buddy was holding in all these feelings, all these things that he wanted to express, but he never expressed it. And he was holding it inside like a big ball of energy, like deep down inside. And then one night he exploded and he just went banana hammocks and just went ballistics, berated his roommate for 2 hours, and his roommate's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding? Like, where did this come from? And it wasn't that thing that happened that night. It was a year of just built up. And you know what? This is the crazy thing is, after that happened, he was checking his weight and everything else, and he said, I gotta take control of my health and everything like that. So he was weighing himself regularly. And he said right after that happened, he weighed himself 3 days later. He lost, this is insane, I'm getting the chills. He lost 8 pounds. And he didn't change any part of his diet or his exercise routine. He just released the energy that was built up. And that's the power that Michael A. Singer talks about in The Surrender Experiment or The Untethered Soul, is that when things happen externally, we feel that we should feel it internally and hold it in. So what I now do is I take it, I feel it, and then I release it. And listen, it's constant. It's not like I'm this like perfect, like, oh my gosh. I'm 14 days in. I'm just talking about the benefits, okay? 14 days in of just feeling something that's happening and saying, okay, how do I respond? Before, I would just respond. It was just like something happened, I was like a mirror. And it would just happen and boom, boom. So this is what I say when I'm meditating. So, I'm just saying what's working for me. Some people say, some people listen to the headspace or whatever the case is. But what I do is I actually say in my mind, quiet my mind, quiet my mind, quiet, or I say quiet the mind, quiet the brain, something like that. So this is what we do, is that we have to like pretend that all of our thoughts, all of our emotions, all of our memories, all the things that are just, our awareness is here, but they're clouds passing by. And we have the opportunity, we have the choice, I should say, the choice to either accept or not. It's like something happens on the outside, we have the choice on how to respond. Something happens, we could either get angry, we could get happy, we can get sad, or whatever the case is. So you have to first say that, quiet the mind. So I say that when I first start meditating, because my mind's going 1,000 different places. It's already probably 5:30 in the morning. I'm a little bit tired. I have a big day of sales calls. I run a real estate company in New York City, and then I'm going to be going to the gym and things like that. So pretty active. And what I need to do is first quiet my mind. So I say, quiet the mind, quiet the mind. And I say that inside, quiet the mind. And then I start quiet my mind like I am right now. And then I literally, as I'm sitting there, I feel complete acceptance. That's what I say, just complete acceptance of what happens that day. We try and change, I talked about it in all of my other book reviews, The Subtle Art of, but we try and change the external world. So I say complete acceptance of what happens. Deals could fall apart, clients can yell at me, clients can fire me, new clients can come on, great business, whatever. Complete acceptance. And then I also say surrender. Just surrender to life. Surrender to life. Surrender to the goodness, the gratitude, the appreciation of life. Life is amazing. And we walk around that we need something to happen before we feel that amazingness. Why don't you just feel amazing now? It's known as unconditional. Unconditional. Unconditional love is one of the biggest, and I'll make a complete video about that. So, and then if my mind starts wandering, I say, okay, I just caught my mind wandering on a thought or something or whatever the case is. And then I bring it back, I say quiet the mind, and then I always say non-judgmental. So in other words, you're not judging yourself, and this is the problem that I had before. I judged myself, and that's why I stopped meditating. I said, I don't see any benefits. And I would judge myself because I'm like, I have all these thoughts going through my mind, I'm trying to control it, I'm just all over the place. And then I would judge myself, I'm like, I suck at meditating. And when my mind would go, I'd say, quiet the mind. That's what I would say, quiet the mind. And as my mind goes across, I say, quiet the mind. I bring it back to attention, where there's no thoughts. And then I say, non-judgmental. And then I say, complete acceptance, and then surrender to life. And it's so freeing. It's really freeing. It's amazing. So that's what I could say is, or that's what I could say that I say. And then the benefits is the awareness, the presence. It's really a drug that is free, and it's completely, and this is only 14 days, it's completely a arbitrary thing where you have to actually do this all the time. It's not one time. That's what I always thought, is one time and then I'm present. But that's the thing, is that I meditate, I go through a crazy day, I go to sleep, and then I wake up, and then my mind's like, I gotta quiet it, go through it, and then my mind's all over, and then I repeat it. And I'm telling you right now, I did it again this morning, and I walked in, and it's just this calm, this presence, this confidence that I can't even explain, because I've never experienced it, because I'm only 14 days in. So have an awesome day. Leave your comments below on your experience of meditating. I can tell you right now, you cannot judge yourself. That's what I did for 6 or 7 years. That's why I didn't meditate. That's why I didn't actually do it. And since I've not judged myself, and I said, okay, my mind is supposed to wander, bring it back, non-judgmental, and it's amazing. So, and I'll leave you with this, is that the 5th day that I did it, I was just sitting there on the couch and whatever, and I was like, all right, I got to do this for 10 minutes and everything else. I got to tell you, I stood up, I was about to go to the gym, I looked at the time, and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, that's crazy. I looked at the time, I was there for half an hour. Half an hour. I felt like 8 minutes. So that's complete, that was like what I was striving for. And I was like, wow, this really does work. So leave your comments below. Have an awesome day. Subscribe to the video. Talk to you guys soon.